All right, my friends, welcome, welcome. We are going on an adventure learning the basics of scheduling, and we have Smartsheet on the screen because we are going to be using Smartsheet as a topic of discussion. I have with me two students who are just getting into the world of scheduling for the first time, so this will be a very interesting test to see how theories from the world of scheduling hold up and how they're able to navigate. So, what exactly is scheduling? What do you think it is? What do you think scheduling is? You want to take a shot at it? What is scheduling? You can speak. You can tell me what you think it is. It's okay. What do you think scheduling is? Okay, very good. That's a great way of saying it. All right. So in Smartsheet, what we do is we arrange our tasks in a logical order, and we also take account of the beginning and the end of each task. And there are different ways we can do that. So I want to just show you around the tool. So if you look over here, oh, no, here to the, yeah, here. So here we have home if you're lost. We have notifications, which is more advanced, browse for files, recent things you looked at, favorites, work apps, and then create. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to click on create and see what this has in store. So this is a free version of Smartsheet, and you can just go in there and set up a free account. But over here, we've got different examples of project plans. I generally try to stay away from these so that I can teach people the very basics. So let's start off with, let's go back home. Let's see what this does. So if you click on this, it takes you straight into a sheet. Um, and let's go back to, okay, so it looks a little bit different from mine, but for now, why don't you click on sheet on yours and let's see what it does. And just name your sheet work schedule. Go ahead and do the same on yours. Open your version and start a new one. Go ahead, a new. So to go to new, you have to go to home. Yeah. And then new and then sheet. Okay. So I'm going to teach you how to create a more complex sheet from scratch because I think this will help you in your journey with Smartsheet. The thing about Smartsheet, when you're connected to a slow connection, it might take a while for it to get to where it needs to. All right. So we have a number of columns here, just like in Excel, but we could give the columns names. So what we're going to do, this primary column, we're going to assume that column is for tasks. So just rename it. Just double click on it, yes, and name it tasks. Okay, do the same for yours. Your primary column should be named task. So double click at the top. No, at the top. Yeah. And just name it tasks. Okay. Now I want you to think of the tasks that you would perform on a daily basis. What would you do when school is in? Those of you students, what is the top 10 things that you would do every day? And just take it, not just school stuff, take it all the way from the beginning of the day till the end of the day. I want to wager that you'll probably get at least 30 things that you do. So let's see how creative you can be. Let's let's check your imagination. What is the very first thing you do? You wake up. Okay. I see someone has put waking up, brushing teeth. Good. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Yeah. So wake up, brush teeth. So you can start typing it. This is your idea of what you do on a daily basis. Come on, come on. This is what you do every day. So you should already know the basic functions, right? The basic functions of daily life. I'm going to read what another student is writing over here. Waking up, brushing teeth, getting dressed, eating breakfast, very good, going to school, eating lunch, finishing school. And someone actually put watching TV on this. Very good. Okay, good. What else? I didn't see the subjects. So I want you to take an average day, whether it's English, math, French, whatever you do, just use those as fillers. Now, you know how in Google Docs, you right click on a line and insert? You want to try inserting a line in between. So like school, knock out 2 to 3 items, but you want to put live class. So just right click all the way over here and do insert. Insert above, and then type whatever classes you do. Like if you want to type in English, French, because this is what scheduling is all about. So I know in the very beginning stages, it looks very mundane, but this can be scaled up, and top schedulers who get paid top dollar, 6 figures in the hundreds of thousands, like I used to be paid, are people who understand the ins and outs of scheduling. So looks like a mundane task, but trust me, when you're able to get into it on other platforms beyond this, you have earning potential. All right. So let's put have dinner, meditate, whatever. Just put something there to make it 10. That's too long. So I'm glad you did that, because one of the best practices of scheduling is to make it like how you got it, 2 or 3 words. Keep it as short as possible. Some people have very long line items, I understand, but you may not want to make it that way. You might want to make it short as possible. Very good. Okay. Very good. Okay. All right. So now you have a list of tasks. What do you think we should be thinking about in addition? Can you guess? What else do you think we should be thinking about? You've some of you done this before. Now we have tasks. What should we do next? Can you guess? You can speak. That's fine. What do you think? Uh, we're still scheduling, so there's things we need to do. There's things we need to do. So when you have your tasks, you plan when they start and when they end. So in the next column, I want you to take a guess for how long these tasks take. But we're going to do something. We're going to do something. Hang on, before we go there. So you know how to undo? Just escape and Control Z, just like Control. Good. So what we're going to do next, we're going to try to convert this, what you're doing so far. And you might want to go back to the screen so that you can see what we're doing. Those of you who are watching. So we got to convert this into a Gantt. And let's see if you have that capability to convert it. Grid view. So we're going to click on Gantt. So where you have grid view, click on Gantt. Click on grid view and Gantt view. So it said a sheet must contain at least 2 date columns to display the Gantt view. Please pay attention to what we're looking at on the other screen. Are you looking? Are you looking at it? Okay. So no, okay. So what do you think we should do? Let me see how smart you folks are. A sheet must contain at least, what did it say? 2 dates. Do you want to try it again? 2 date columns. Okay. So what do you think we need to do to make them date columns? Can you guess? Okay. So I can see you're going in the right direction. Is it to rename the column? No, you could, okay, you're getting close. You're getting warmer. So go up. You see what you got right there? What does it say? There you go. And you want to name it, so you can name it start date. You're going to name it start date. That's going to be your start date. Say okay. All right. It said 2 columns. What do you think the other column needs to be called? What do you think it's going to be called? Finish date, exactly. So we have a start date and we have a finish date. So you go ahead and very good. You're getting the hang of it. Awesome. Finish date. Good. All right. So what was the requirement when we try to make it a Gantt? It said we must have 2 columns. So what are we going to do now? We're going to try it exactly. Boom. Fantastic. Now we have our Gantt. Let's see if the other student was able to do it. Okay, you're trying to catch up. That's why you should always pay attention to what's happening on the screen. Okay. So now there's a view that we should be seeing. And the view we should be seeing is a Gantt chart. Have you heard of a Gantt chart before? Have you heard of a Gantt chart before? I think you have heard of a Gantt chart. So a Gantt chart is like this. It's like a timeline where you have the tasks that are being done overlapping. So it looks like bars showing you which task is however long. Now, I want you to use your imagination to give a start date and an end date. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to insert a column. So what we generally do, this is the Gantt view you're seeing. We're going to move this to the right. Okay. And then we are going to use this as our duration column because we need a duration column. So let's see, duration. You see that? So click on that, make it duration. So this is one of the properties of a Gantt. So just call column 4 duration. Column 4 is duration. And duration is going to be how long that task takes. Now, because we're using this for what you generally do in a day, it may not look as realistic. It may not look as realistic, but we're going to assume that we did this over several days just for the sake of the illustration. So there are 2 things we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is decide when to start our project. Let's say this was a big old project. So when should we start our project? We're going to start our project on which day? Go to start date. Go to start date, and right there where we have the first task, I want you to click on the calendar icon on the right. And I want you to select a date. And it doesn't have to be today, it could be a date in the future. So go ahead to the start column. Go ahead to the start column. Here, select a date in the future. Could be any date in the future. Go on, just choose one quick. Uh-huh. All right, so you got a start date. Excellent. The next thing we're going to do is choose a duration. Now, I want you to imagine you are as slow as a sloth. So we're going to exaggerate the duration for the sake of the illustration. So for waking up, we're gonna say it took you 1 day to wake up. We're not gonna, so here's the cardinal rule. Do not, this is very important. Never ever put a finish date in. Never ever put a finish date in. Instead, you're going to say how long it took, and then the finish date is going to populate itself. So let's say you spend a day to wake up. So put in the duration, we're going to put 1. Just type a 1, enter. Just a 1. Okay. Just a 1. Okay. And then as far as the finish date is concerned, we are going to, let me see what's going on because it should have updated itself. If everything was going according to plan, let's see. All right. There might be something we're missing here. Let's see. Something in the properties. Okay. So dependencies enabled. We're going to choose dependencies enabled. A column called duration exists on your sheet. Use it to enable dependencies. Yes. Okay. And say okay. All right. So now that we've activated that special mechanism for dependencies, you can see what happens. It likes warning you that you need to save. And actually, I would recommend you save because people have lost a lot of their work when they didn't save. So for you, I don't think you observed what we did. Um, follow the actions that we did. We clicked on this and okay. So you got a limitation on yours. So they're smart. They want you to upgrade because yours is not a brand new account. So it's okay. But just what I would recommend is watch what we're doing on the other one, just so that you follow along, okay? So what happened when you put a 1 day? It made the finish date um, to end on 8/20 because it's assuming, well, if you spend a day, you'll be done that day. There's something else we're going to do here. We're going to insert a column to the left, and we're going to select, okay. So we're going to insert a column. Let's see. Let's see if it's already there. Duration, task. Let's see what else you got here. Okay. So this predecessors column, we're going to move it here. Now, what do you think a predecessor is based on the English language? Based on the English language, what does predecessor mean? Precedes. Good. Something that precedes. So here's the deal. Wake up is the predecessor of brush teeth. Right? Something precedes means comes before. So all of these have numbers, right? All of these have numbers. So 1 precedes 2. And for that reason, predecessors, we're going to say 1 because we're saying wake up precedes brush teeth. All right, hit enter. What happened? We had these update, and then let's change this to 2. Did you put 1 day in here? Was that you? Okay. So good. Let's make breakfast 2 days. And no, no, that's not the right place. Yeah, well, yes, but I want you to put 2 days in here. Good. Two, just two. Yeah. Now we're gonna say two precedes three, so you put a two here. No, no. Yes, two. Okay. Now look over here. There's some activity. Can you scroll to reveal what is happening there? Or can you move? Okay, let me help you with the screen. They need to make it a little bit smaller so that you can see what is happening over here. Because there's some interesting action going on over here. And move this. There we go. So you want to be able to see. So are you paying attention? Okay. So you can see here, this is what a Gantt chart is. You can see the length. So if it's 1, the length is the same as wake up and brush teeth look the same length. Breakfast is longer because it's 2 days. So I want you to just carry out the exercise. Don't put the dates in, just use the predecessor so that everything is just going to follow 3, 4, 5, 6 if they're finished to start. So that means you need to finish, wake up before you brush teeth. You can't brush teeth before you wake up. You get what I'm saying? So we call it a finish to start relationship. So what we're going to do here, we're going to put 3, 4, 5, 6 on and on down like that for the predecessors. And you can use, yes, you can use the enter key as well to go down if you will. All right, you following along? Is it making sense? Okay, very good. So, so what happened? We had one, did you put these in or did it put them in for you? Did you put those in? So it kind of thought they should be 1 day each. I want you to make them just, yeah, arbitrary numbers because 14 is a bit big. So let's make them under 5, yeah. And you can just type directly on top of it. So a shortcut, yeah, and just type a number like 2 and enter on it, yeah. Remember, we're trying to keep them under 5. Under 5, we don't want them to be 6. We want them to be smaller than that. So 2 days, 1 day, 3 days, because these are days. No, why you get rid of that? No, 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 you shouldn't. You should. They don't. No, they're not supposed to match. These are days. How long? So let me help you with that. So this is how long it takes for you to do the thing. So it doesn't have to match the days. What happens? What happened? Okay. So yes. So these don't have to match. Does this not work? Let's see. Okay. That's why. Okay. So we just choose some arbitrary numbers. Doesn't have to match. Okay. Is what I'm saying here making sense? So in the real world, if you're going to do this on a project or you're going to do this in real life, so wake up. Let's go to wake up. Wake up. It wouldn't take 1 day, obviously, to wake up. It would take like, okay, maybe 10. Let's see if it does the M. Yes, you see how tiny it now looks? So this would be 10 minutes. So, to be quite honest, we could ditch our plan to use days because Smartsheet can do it in minutes. So why don't you put some realistic durations? Use M for minutes. So brush teeth, 5 minutes, 5M, breakfast, 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Yeah, something realistic. And then we'll change the scale. So you don't, yeah, exactly. And you can just hit enter each time. So yes, 3M, 2M, 10M, enter like that. Can you put some M's in yours and let's see how yours is coming along? Okay, so put some durations, yeah, like 3M, 4M, and you can just type directly on it. 2M, enter. Just, yeah. So what I'm saying is, look, you can do 1M, enter, 2M, enter, just like that. Oh, it's gone to the wrong side. So it should be in duration. There you go. All right, good. So is it making sense? Okay, good. Very good. You're very smart. So you figured H was hour. Very good. All right, let's continue. Scheduling is fun. You know, Microsoft back in the day, they had entire certifications for this, and it's just a great skill to have. And then when you amp it up, you become more useful to your employer as a project manager. There are a lot of PMs that need to be in a class like this, learning how to schedule. Very good. Okay. So let's change that to, yeah, let's make it 1 hour or 15 minutes or whatever it needs to be. Just M. Okay. Yeah. No, don't put that. You have to put something specific. So, you know, the way to do it is just type directly on the column. Yeah. Just choose line of best fit. There you go. Good. And then just choose some random numbers just for the sake of the illustration so that we can finish. These need to be minutes as well, not days. For the attend live meeting, just 1 hour, you can just put 1H, 2H, or whatever. Good. Or minutes. Awesome. Go on. Very good. Good. Awesome. Okay. Very good. And what's that? Uh, okay. All right. Good. So let's leave it at that. Now, the only thing that this is missing, we haven't put the predecessors. So predecessors are very important because it tells the program, it tells the program what to hook onto for these additional ones over here. So just put 11, 12, 13. There you go. Boom. Enter. And now you finish your first schedule. All right. Well, that pretty much is it. Now, the fun part about scheduling is when you track your activities. It's one thing to have them all listed out and it looks very good, well done. But that's just the first part. In the real world, you want to have something over here. We're going to insert a column. And the column you want to look for, I was looking for a percent complete column. Oh, I don't see a percent complete column. Can we put one in? Okay, yes, percent complete column. So let's make it column 5. So we're going to say percent complete column is column 5. We're going to move this over here. Can you rename column 5 as percent complete? Percent complete. All right, very good. So if you were doing this in the real world, assuming you wanted to do a percent complete, and honestly, I may have to make this first task, um, we'll make it 2 days so that you can actually see the impact because it has to be big. Now, I want you to go ahead and put in 10 for percent complete. And let's see over here. So let's see what it's done. Let's put 10%. It may not have gotten the memo. Can you put 10%, the percent sign? because it shouldn't. There we go. So 10%, you can see it's showing you. Do you see that little tiny little thing? Then as far as the configuration of your GANs, there are ways to change it so that it's more evident, like instead of it just being blue on blue, the legend. Color settings. There we go. Okay. So let's make this a little bit darker. And now when you put in, let's say you put in a 20% thing. Okay, there you go. And you see, you now see the effect. So this is showing you a record of how much is done. Okay, go ahead and put 100% in to the first one. And look at what happens when you make it 100. Yeah, percent. There you go. You see, it's now showing everything's complete. And this is what is used on projects to track when you have several tasks, thousands of tasks. There was a schedule I did that was 20,000 lines. This is just 10 lines. Can you imagine 100 lines? Then 1,000 lines, then 20,000 lines. So this can be scaled up massively. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson of Smartsheet basics. Thank you very much for joining me. And thank you to the students who took part in the exercise. Definitely keep practicing because if you do, you could become really good and you can make some good money from scheduling. How much did I say I was making in scheduling once upon a time? You remember the number? Not 1,000, over $100,000 by being a scheduler. But you have to be good because no one's going to employ you if you're not good. You have to be really good at it. So I hope that craves your indulgence and piques your interest. Thank you very much. See you in another episode soon. Bye for now.